One of the very important topics under, if you want to improve productivity and quality, is auditing. Yeah, auditing, some type of mechanisms to check if everything is going fine, going as you would like it to go. Very important factor, audit. And you are familiar with auditing type of companies, like big four companies. They do different types of audits like KPMG, PwC, Deloitte, E&Y. Some of them are present in Jamaica also. uh, so we are familiar with like their financial and accounting type of auditing, and that is what they are more famous for. But if you look at their operations internationally, especially, they do auditing for all different types of activities which happen on the plant, manufacturing, servicing, you name it. You can think about anything, any aspect, any business process. So it is not just that these type of companies audit the numbers or finance or financial health or uh, those type of things. They would audit anything and everything. Different companies specialize on those type of auditings. So you would want to think why audit is important. Maybe to improve the quality, maybe to ensure that the company is meeting the standards which the company has uh, put for themselves. Uh, uh, maybe that type of thing is there. So in terms of audit, you can think about the standards, what or maybe improvement in the standards. Auditing is going to come under that. Uh, Please check the course outline. Yes, this book is also part of the text, but if you look at the course outline, you will see some other books also mentioned. So those are also part of the course. Just look at the course outline and see which books are mentioned. All the books, prescribed and non-prescribed. Any book which is mentioned is, even if it is further reading, it is part of the course. So you would have to go through all the relevant texts, look at the topics in those texts, and see how you can prepare them. Yeah. So as a kid, I always wanted to mess with people, so I became an auditor. Is a kind of a little joke here. Because what is the perception of auditor? Auditor comes in and identifies you are not doing this thing right, you are not doing that thing right, and so on. That is the perception maybe, but that is maybe not how an auditor should behave, when especially if you are talking about improvement in productivity and quality. Then they should not behave like that. uh, Maybe they should think that the purpose of auditing is to help the workers, help the business to improve their performance. So even if any mistake is being highlighted, the sentiment should not be that uh, just to highlight the mistake. The sentiments should be how we can improve the the process. So the mistake is highlighted not to disgrace, but the mistake is highlighted to improve some type of uh, uh, any type of uh, uh, mistake, and so on. Uh, this is again a joke. I hope your audit does not reveal any of your extramarital affairs. And that is the sentiment on the plant. When the auditors come, people want to hide different things. They don't want to share the correct information, and the concern is real and correct also, because sometimes companies are not forgiving, and the acceptance of failure culture is also not there. uh, and if they know that, if the boss knows that something is wrong in the way you are doing the thing, they are going to maybe sometimes insult you or whatever they would have to do. So the hiding culture is there. So that again is not conducive if you are performing the audit to improve quality. Because I'm saying these things because remember that the discussion is quality audit. It is not just audit. It is the audit which is going to help in improving quality, and audit which is going to help in improving productivity. So if you want that type of audit, in that case, uh, you will have to reveal everything to the auditors, and even before the auditor is going to come, just like we were talking in benchmarking. um, and if you have not heard what I said in benchmarking, and you are listening to this before, I would suggest that you first listen to benchmarking before you come here, because there are some things which I mentioned there and I don't plan to mention them again here. But for example, one thing we mentioned is that you um, the in auditing, or let me correct myself, I think that was mentioned in self accountability. Self, when you are putting yourself accountable, so the person who is involved in the job, before the auditor comes and audit their job, they audit their job themselves. Yeah, they look at their job themselves and then see how they can improve it. Are they following the guidelines? Are they following the principles, best practices? Are they following those or not? And wherever there are any loopholes, they correct themselves. Yeah. So self auditing from there, from self. Uh, so best would be when they would be audit themselves and try to improve their thing. And if there is any stage where they are having some challenges in auditing their self, in the sense where they are unable to improve the quality of their product or service, and they need some external help, then of course that is fine. But before asking for help help from auditor, external auditor, audit should be done internally. Maybe you are doing internal audit yourself on your job, your colleagues are doing, helping you in the internal audit. Because many times in the plant, people who are working on the plant, they know the problems, they know that they need to do it like this, they know we need to do it like this, that thing is missing, that thing is missing, whatever. So before the external auditors come, why don't the company or the people involved, they internally audit, see which areas need improvement, improve in the areas which they can on their own, and have a report on that. And when the auditor comes, share that knowledge with the auditor, that okay, these were the problems internally, we fixed them, this is what we did, and here is this information for you. But many times that people will not approach auditing in that style. When the auditor, when the company knows auditors are coming, they kind of become, it's not a happy time for them. They kind of become nervous that, oh, auditor is going to come, what is going to happen? He's going to find out this, he's going to find out that, it's going to, maybe I'll lose my job because of this, whatever happened. So as long as you did not do anything unethical or something like no financial um, wrongdoings, it should be a fun exercise if you want to do quality audit, because the idea for auditor to come is to help you improve your quality. So that is the basic principle which we will try to carry in this conversation, and see what are the, as this is again very interesting, maybe the auditor will forget about those reports she asked for yesterday, so just keep smiling. It's very interesting. So all the documents which the auditor will need, all the paperwork, first of all, paperwork should be ready. If the paperwork, procedures, policies are not documented, then why you are asking for external auditor to improve quality? You should know that these things should be ready. So do those things first. So first do those things. So because the auditor is going to tell you the same things. So don't let auditor tell you the things which you can already know on your own. The things which you already know about problems, issues, know them, try to solve them, work on them, have some report. And if you can't solve those problems, that is fine. The auditor, when the auditor comes, you share that knowledge with the auditor, and together you would find some solution. It's more like a collective effort. If, again I'm repeating that, if the purpose of auditing is to improve quality, and because the course is quality and productivity, that is why we are discussing it in this way. Otherwise, audit can be different auditors like to find out if someone has done something wrong, auditing for that reason. So it is very important, first of all, to set the objective, target, scope, scale of the audit. Why we are doing the audit? What is the reason? If the audit is to improve quality, then, for example, then it should be, people should be informed that okay, today at this time auditors are going to come, or next week auditors are going to come and they are going to check what is happening, how the thing is being done. So it should be informed, because the purpose is not to catch someone, the purpose is to improve quality. So when it is to improve quality, you have to tell the other people that okay, auditors are coming. Oh, auditors need to tell what type of information they will need way in advance. Then the people who are involved, they will have to document it if it is not documented completely, or update it. Even if it is documented, sometimes it is not updated. Update the papers, update everything. Look within internal audit, see what can be improved, improve it, and then share that knowledge. The sharing of knowledge, very important. Don't hide anything. It is like, you are a patient and you are hiding something from the doctor. That is not going to help you in improving your productivity, your quality of life. You have to trust the doctor and need to tell them that these are the problems, what is happening, and then see what happens from there. So quality audit should be, people should know when the audit is, the information, open sharing, very important, extremely important. Let's look at purpose of audit. I spoke about it a while ago. What is the purpose? What are you trying to do? Written procedures are adequate, being followed or not? Yeah. So this is something which auditor should not be coming and telling you the written procedure is this and you are not following it. You should know this yourself, that you should know your company has written procedure. You should know if you are following it or not. If auditor is going to come and tell you this, it is a waste of exercise. If the way I am looking at it, at least you can look at how the book is going to talk about it, and how you know after reading the book you can have your thoughts on that. But if the auditor is going to come you the basic things which you should know, then it is waste of the time, it's waste of the resource also, financially speaking also, because auditing is an expensive exercise. You need to bring in auditors, you need to pay them, everyone needs to cooperate in that time with them. They will come, they will go back, all of those things. So it will take time from the workers also. So it is an expensive exercise. So you want to maximize from that exercise. That is not possible if they are going to tell you the things which you should know yourself. Yeah. And also another point is coming in my mind, that is the experience of auditor in that field. It's extremely important. They should know that the experience of doing that thing themselves. So for example, if someone wants to audit this course, yeah, how I am conducting the course or whatever. It cannot be and it should not be the course coordinators or the administrative staff. They can be part of the audit team, but they cannot audit the team, audit the course, because they don't have experience of facilitating the topics. So there has to be someone who has experience of facilitating these type of topics. They should be the one who are auditing. Of course, administrative staff can be with them, other people can be with them, but a person who has himself done the same type of job over a long period of time in different settings, online and offline, all of those things, they will be the best person to maybe, and they should be respected in what they do. It is not that they are average. They should be very, very good in this thing. Only then they should be auditing anyone. And also, the person who is being audited, if I am being audited, there should be someone who I look up to, like I feel myself worthy of being audited by them. So when I see, okay, that professor is coming to audit my session with these many years of experience, then I'm going to look at what he's saying and what is happening. If I don't look up to the auditor, or I have my reservations, then how it is going to work? Uh, it's not going to work. It is just like that you might like me or you might dislike me. That is different thing. But at some place you should have that feeling that okay, he has some fair knowledge of what he is talking about. Yeah. At least if you don't feel that towards me, then it is not going to work. Why you would want to listen to me if you have that type of feeling? Even if you are listening, then the listening would be very different. Yeah. So that is also very important in auditing or in feedback type of thing. So the way I'm looking at quality audit is that it's more like a feedback type of mechanism. And because my leadership style would be same also, like I would like to know if someone is not performing, what is the reason why they are not performing, uh, what can we do about that. But then again, that can change if the external pressure is too much, if the pressure of timelines are there and so on. You have to look at overall scheme of things. So this way you will, opportunities for improvement are identified. So it is the purpose of audit. Maybe you are looking for where we can improve, but many times you should know those things yourself. Yeah. Anything can be safety, accounting, anything. Why audit? I spoke about that. Um, as you conduct the audit, you talk to the customers also. Like what is the customer's feeling? People who are using that product or service, what is their feeling? Um, but of course, you can't take it too much also, because customer don't know many times. Many times customer agenda is different. Many times they are maybe saying the thing for some other reason, right or wrong. So that is why the experienced auditor is very important, that in that field, in that particular field, the person has experience of doing that thing and also auditing. So both experience are required in that field. So you are auditing aviation field, so you should have been, you should have experience in aviation, and you should also have experience of auditing aviation. Both things are equally important. If you might have 20 years of auditing experience in universities, for example, but if you don't have experience of auditing aviation, then maybe you can be part of the team, but they also need to have people who have auditing experience in that same industry. Unlike benchmarking was different. Yeah, if you remember. How to audit, how to you walk around, see how, observe how things are happening, body language. I personally had some auditing experience in a company, a very interesting experience. As a matter of fact, I would say that even if you are not interested in auditing, even if you have no interest, still you should try to be part of some activity which is doing some audit in some company. Because if you want to learn about any business, one of the easiest and fastest and safest and most enjoyable way of learning about that business is by being on the auditing of that business. You learn so much just by being part of the team inside out, because you have access to the reports, you are talking with people, you are observing, you are seeing what are the problems, you are seeing what are the positives, you are talking with other people to take their perspective, what are the solutions, you are looking at best practices in a short period of time, 2 3 months, are giving a very good understanding of the business just by auditing. And that is not possible if you are working in some other department, if you are working in marketing or HR or whatever. Yes, you will learn many things, but you want to learn about overall business dynamics in a fast way. I think that is one of the best ways to do that. So in early career, if it is one of your first jobs in the field, uh, that would be very interesting. And be mindful that auditing is not just accounting and finance. That is important. Uh, yeah. So how they will, they are going to. There is some training I did on auditing. I have posted the complete slides for that. This is what it is: auditing QMS training, slides from training. Uh, this is just to share source. So you can go through this in your own time. In this slide set, some of those slides are taken from the training. Uh, you can reflect on them, like what is an audit, what is the objective of the audit. You will have to make some type of audit plan. You will conduct the auditing. You audit. You will have to document the findings. You are writing the report, and even after writing the report, you are following up on some of the actions which you have asked to do in the audit report, and see how they are going, if they are having any problems and so on. uh, it's very interesting thing to look at. Different standards, you can read about that. I'm sure you are familiar with ISO 9000 and so on standards. uh, this should have been, I think this number is wrong, 19011. You can look at environmental guidelines, ISO environmental guidelines, and see what, I think it is 9001 or something like that. Uh, why we should audit, different reasons for different companies, ensuring compliance requirements, sometimes legal requirements, sometimes if you are going in overseas market, before that there is a requirement that you have done auditing. Different requirement. But the way I spoke about auditing was when you want to improve. So you want to tell beforehand you are coming, the cooperation should be there. Lot of feedback taken from the workers, that should be there. Whatever they are not doing, why they are not doing that, Many times in the SOP something is written like do it like this, but the people on the field, they don't do it like that. Now what can you do? You can just tell them that, educate them, tell them the consequences. Especially in construction industry, for example, you would see that many times workers are not following all the safety procedures, and then sometimes they fall and things happen. So from the legal point of view, in your company, you want to ensure that people are following the practices and so on. Otherwise it can be a problem for you. uh, Principles of auditing: trust, objectivity, spoke couple of them. uh, is the interesting interesting diagram of process: input, output. You have seen it. um, Input would be here. Within here is a transformation box. In that box there are different activities or different processes, and then output. You see it in, like, for example, computer basic course, introduction to computing. You will see this diagram: input box, output. Yeah, garbage in, garbage out, something like that. But these two things are added, so I thought I should talk about this. So like in the transformation box, you have some resources which are helping you to do the activities, and then there are some controls which are helping you that you stay within the boundaries of the activities, you don't go out of that. That is very true for auditing also. Like, you have to really be very focused on what is the scope of auditing, what exactly you are going to audit to improve quality. Maybe even before doing the audit, you tell the company or the people who are involved that you look at your processes yourself and see, audit yourself and share that knowledge with me. Yeah, in any form, in any format, that is okay. Yeah, that would be very nice. Like, that would at least tell you that what these people already know. Yeah, that would be nice. And the people who are, you need to maximize from the knowledge of people who have first hand knowledge of working on the plant, on the process and so on. That is, I think, extremely important. Yeah, so from there you can continuously improve. uh, um, so for example, this is like an overview of audit process: internal audit, input, output. What things you would need as an input before doing audit: policy statements, history. What has been the history of the company? Have they done any audits in the past? What did they learn from those audits? Documentations, different types of SOPs. Sometimes it is in the picture form, the layout of the plant or something like that. Customer feedback, planning, all of this is input. And what would be the output? Output would be audit report, your findings. You follow up if the company or the people did something on to improve the productivity, quality, improvements, conclusions, meetings, output. And within this internal, two things are coming in. One is resources. What resources you need? You need information. To gain information, you need help from the workers. They should be willing to share the information with you. It should be correct. On a timely basis, you should get trained personnel. Our people are trained. It's not that they don't know what they are doing. If anything is lacking, then the company is not ready for audit. If the information is, they are not going to share the information, it is the culture of the organization to keep the bad things under the rug. If you don't have time, if the personals don't have, people are not trained well, then do these things before you do the audit. Improve these things. If documentation is not improved, if take customer feedback and see what the customers are saying. If those are like basic things and you are not doing those things, then do those things, improve on customer feedback, because the auditor, when auditor comes, he's also going to take customer feedback. So why you want the auditor to get the same type of complaints which you could have easily taken care of? Yeah. Take care of those things before. Management, can management provide the resources, use the results, and so on? Yeah. So it's interesting. It's a very small, precise diagram, but they capture the sense of audit, especially in the sense of making improvements. Yeah. Organizational understanding. Yeah. Auditors criteria, what, like social interaction skills, knowledge in the field, and so on. Yeah. Creativity, is problem solving skills, and all those things are, but both things are important. On one hand, it is important that uh, the auditor is experienced in that field and so on, what I said earlier, but I'm also thinking that fresh pair of eye is also very interesting thing from auditor perspective. So auditing, that is why generally it would be a team of people, it's not one auditor. Yes, one lead auditor, but you would have a team of people, different, with different capacities, with different capabilities. So it's good to have someone who has fresh eye, who is not very who's not very knowledgeable in that industry, maybe from some other industry, but should have auditing experience, because they will look at it in a different way. It's a team type of effort. Yeah, these things you would have to think about, like, audit criteria. What is the audit criteria? Audit resources, do I have that? Audit scope, what is this? You will have to set audit objectives, quality, to improve quality, productivity. I want to do these things. Audit implies comparison to criteria. So that is why it is very important to have the criteria or the standards. Yeah. Because if you don't have that, then what are you auditing against? What are the expectations you have for the process? That should be very clear, which can be sometimes very difficult to gain clarity on the criteria, on the standard. That can be very difficult. Yeah. And it can be very subjective also, right? Depending on the person, it can vary, especially if you are auditing a service, quality of a service. Then even the feedback from customers can be quite different for the same, from this, coming from the same customer rep, and so on. Audit notification, I've spoken about that. Preparing the audit plan, determine what papers we will need to conduct our audit. Yeah. Which people will be required, in which order we will have to meet with them, are those people available or not, uh, what type of access is given to the company, to us. Those are very important questions. Before you do audit, objective is defined, scope is defined, audit plan is ready or not. And you can look at audit plans. Audit plan, just run some Google search. Just go on Google audit plan. Should look at audit plans. Yeah. Audit planning, see what type of documents come in. Maybe some documents, some examples are there. For example, this internal auditing. Yeah, this is a good example. Incoming inspection here, production, molding, QC inspection, quality control inspection, non-conforming materials. You have some, timelines. You would be looking at these type of things, but you don't have to look at this example. You can look at audit plan in your in hospital, audit plan hospital, or hospitality, hotels, yeah. Hospital audit program guide. Yeah, so you scan through this. Yeah, scan through. It is 187 uh, pages, but just scan through it. You can scan in like 10 minutes, or maybe spend half an hour. Okay, on this, if you are interested in hospital auditing, what type of documents are there, and so on. Just scan through that, or you can put anything here, bank or uh, hotels or restaurant, and see how they plan. What are the things they are making in that. Yeah, so these are some of the general ideas to help you improve the quality by using audit. Uh, what is audit? This is by KPMG, very short and very interesting clip. The following clip shows us beautifully what a quality audit can achieve. Again, 1 minute long clip. EY, very interesting clip they have, very creative. This one you should pay special attention, uh, and link it with our discussion, what we said so far in the class, and read around the pointers this guy is presenting. It's like, how long it is? It's like maybe 10 minutes long clip. The how and why of auditing. This guy is like 13 minutes long clip. You will learn many things just in this clip, just in like 30 minutes. Um, he really makes us understand the major things which quality auditing, ins and outs of quality auditing. So very interesting, and he's very experienced also, so you should listen to that. And one more basic talk, conducting audit. This one is shorter, I think. It's under 5 minutes. So these are some things which you should watch, look into. Um, you should also, in your company, if you are working, you should check with them, like how do they, what are the auditing, if they have gone through any auditing exercise. Your colleagues, if someone has gone through some type of auditing, I think, or some type of audit, that should be very interesting, I think. Like, ask them what were the feelings, what were the challenges in the audit, why you, what were the things which could improve, you liked it or you did not like it, why you did not like it. If that is the case, what was the support given from the company? That try to understand from their experience what they went through. uh, when I am having class discussions, like before COVID, I would have this type of discussion in the class, and people would generally, give some examples of what they went through or their colleagues went through, and all of that. So all the negatives, all the anxiety factors which you will identify from that type of conversation with your colleagues, you need to take those out from the, when you are doing quality audit. For example, if someone is having the anxiety that, the purpose of audit is that the company is maybe doing some downsizing, right sizing, laying off people. So maybe they are just trying to find which ones are not performing well, and then they are going to lay them off. If that type of thinking is developing in the organization before you do the audit, you need to ensure your staff that why we are doing audit. The audit is we are doing to improve the quality. We don't have any agenda of taking action against the people who are maybe not uh, performing very well. That is not what our agenda is. So we want to help you if you are not performing at the productive level, help you understand where our company stands. Maybe you are going for a benchmarking exercise. So, and everything is ready, documentation, morale, everything is there, resources. And now before you go in the benchmarking exercise, you say, all right, let's do auditing. Let's see if our company is ready or not. So you tell your workers that, your managers, that this is the purpose. Like a lot of transparency. Like sometimes I would, when I would start this discussion, I would just pose this question, like, what do you think? Is when auditing should be informed or uninformed? When you are auditing, should you inform the people or should you not inform? So there is a mixed opinion when the session starts like this. Some people say it should be informed, many people say it should not be informed, because then people are going to make corrective actions and so on. But please remember, again I'm saying it third time, that this audit is to improve quality. So audit depends a lot on the objective and what you want to achieve from that audit. So these are some of the things which are coming to my mind in terms of auditing. Look for basic definitions of quality audit is the process of systematic examination of a quality system carried out by an internal or external quality auditor or an audit team. ISO standards, and go on their website, ISO, yeah, ISO standards. Yeah, there is a website, International Organization for Standards. See what they have posted there. Read a little bit. Um, but very important to have some conversation at your workplace about auditing, what goes right, what went wrong. That is very important. Uh, Read some of the reports, auditing reports, uh, done for your company, for your business, even if it is finance related, even if it is numbers, does not really matter, because look at the sections where they are giving you areas for improvement. What are they saying in those areas? So you, whichever business you work for, whichever company you work for, they must have done some type of auditing, especially if it is a bigger company, because by law they have to do some audits and so on. So scan through that report, go to the sections where they are giving suggestions for improvement or things to do in the future, and just read that section. It's like 2-3 pages there, 4 pages, and start doing those things in your work for that company. Yeah? So you are helping the company to learn from the audit and improve themselves, can learn a lot about the company. Like, so auditing, even if your company does not have, just run a Google search, audit report. Some companies have it on their website also. Yeah, in their statements, sometimes they mention audit done by PwC, auditors of the company. In the reports, financial reports, you would see that auditors of this company are PwC or whatever company. So those type of thing. Uh, Give a call to PwC or KPMG or anyone which works in Jamaica, and ask them. We were talking about quality audits in our session. I am undergraduate student at UV. Give me some resources. What are the things I can read about that they are going to guide you in outside of what I have told you. They're going to give you some documents. Tell them you are not into reading a lot. Some short documents, some online resources. So they would know because they are in the business. So they will direct you to those type of resources if you don't want to find yourself. Yeah. So these are some activities which which you should think about. And finally, I would say that if you ever get a chance of being part of any type of auditing, just to observe maybe or whatever, I would say take that opportunity, because I think that is the best way to learn about auditing. Uh, because the daily activity is quite, quite a few new things come there and so on. So that would be nice. Okay, yes, I think that is good start for you to read more in depth on this amazing topic of quality audit.